really rough. I mean, we live in a tent. It's snowing, as you can see. It's very cold out here, especially today. It's like in the zeros.
Let's go to snowsuit. So whatever promise you. Don't make no excuse. Keep up. Don't make no excuse. I'm working down to them.
Definitely, this is death weather. Like, if you're not prepared for this, you're gonna die.
The snow piles up.
Yeah, I got 2 toboggans. Trying to stay warm.
Tim Rouse hunkers down.
Cold, but I survived. I made it.
Winter in Detroit doesn't arrive quietly. It settles in and refuses to leave. Snow drifts through abandoned streets. Wind moves through rusted factories. And the cold sinks deep into the city's bones. For many, winter means warmth behind closed doors. But for more than 6,700 people in Detroit, winter means something else entirely. It means searching for shelter before nightfall. It means counting layers instead of hours. It means hoping the cold doesn't win. As snowstorms roll in, industrial ruins become fragile refuge. Sidewalks turn into bedrooms. Cars become temporary homes. And every freezing night carries quiet risk. Before we go any further, if stories like this matter to you, please like the video and subscribe. Your support helps the YouTube algorithm push this story to more people who need to see it, because this isn't a distant crisis. It's happening now, in America, in Detroit. And in the next moments, we're going to show you how winter truly reshapes survival here, the places people turn to, the choices they're forced to make, and why these cold nights matter more than most of us realize. Stay with us.
Not a whole lot, Charlie. How you doing?
What's yours?
Doug.
Hey, Doug. So you say you were living in a house with your fiance?
Yeah, there was a house right there on the corner.
Abandoned?
Abandoned.
What happened to your fiance?
She went to Clearview, got out of here, so that's good. She wound up getting pregnant after 6 years of us being together. Our first baby, born on Christmas Day.
How does a homeless go?
Chapter 1. When Winter Takes Hold. How Detroit's cold slowly turns everyday life into survival. Winter in Detroit doesn't arrive suddenly. It settles in quietly. The first snowfall feels calm. Streets turn white. Factories stand still. The city looks peaceful. But as the days pass, the temperature drops. The wind grows sharper. And winter begins to show its weight. For many people, this season means warm homes, hot meals, and doors that close against the cold. But for thousands of others across Detroit, winter means uncertainty. Daylight fades earlier, nights stretch longer, and every decision starts to revolve around one question. How do I stay warm tonight? Sidewalks harden with ice. Snow piles up along bus stops, under bridges, beside abandoned buildings. Places where people still sit, still wait, still try to rest. In winter, homelessness becomes impossible to overlook, because the cold removes comfort, removes privacy, and leaves no room for mistakes. Finding a place to sleep grows harder as shelters fill quickly. Transportation slows during storms, outreach teams face limits, and even a short walk can become dangerous when temperatures fall below freezing. Detroit's industrial past stands quietly in the background. Empty factories, silent warehouses, once symbols of strength, now covered in snow and rust. For some, these structures offer brief protection from the wind. Not safe, not warm, but better than the open street. Winter forces people to adapt fast. Cardboard becomes insulation. Layers replace blankets. And survival turns into a series of small, urgent choices made under pressure. This chapter isn't just about cold weather. It's about how winter transforms daily life, how familiar streets change, and how the season exposes realities many never see. But winter in Detroit doesn't pause. As the snow grows heavier and shelter options disappear, the struggle moves deeper into the city's forgotten spaces. And that's where the next chapter begins. Chapter 2. Sheltering from the Storm. How abandoned spaces become winter refuge. As winter deepens in Detroit, the city begins to close in. Snowstorms arrive without warning. Wind pushes through alleyways, and temperatures fall faster than help can reach everyone. When shelters reach capacity, people look elsewhere, under bridges, inside empty factories, behind boarded-up buildings. Detroit's abandoned spaces, once places of industry and movement, quietly turn into places of survival. Inside these structures, the cold never fully disappears. Broken windows let wind rush through. Concrete floors pull heat from the body. Darkness settles early and stays long. Still, for many, these spaces offer one thing the streets cannot: a break from the wind. Winter forces difficult choices. Stay outside and face the snow, or step into unsafe spaces for a little cover. There are no perfect options, only decisions made under pressure. People build makeshift shelters from what they can find. Cardboard, plastic sheets, old furniture pushed against doorways, small barriers against a powerful season. As storms continue, movement becomes harder. Roads freeze. Public transportation slow. Outreach teams struggle to reach those hidden away in industrial ruins. Winter doesn't just bring cold, it brings isolation. These forgotten spaces sit far from public view, far from warmth, far from safety. Yet night after night, people return. Because when winter tightens its grip, any shelter feels better than none. This chapter reveals a quiet truth. In Detroit, winter reshapes the city itself, turning empty spaces into lifelines. And lifelines into risks. But as storms grow stronger and nights grow colder, even these fragile shelters begin to fail. And the search for warmth pushes people toward the last remaining option: the city's overwhelmed shelter system. Chapter 3. Warmth behind limited doors, when winter shelters reach their breaking point. As winter tightens its grip on Detroit, the doors meant to offer warmth begin to fill. Shelters open early on freezing days. Lines form before sunset. People wait quietly, watching the sky darken and the temperature fall. Inside, space is limited. Beds fill fast, and every cold night brings more people. Then there are places to sleep. For many, getting a shelter bed depends on timing. Arrive early or keep moving through the cold. Winter places enormous pressure on these spaces. Staff work longer hours. Volunteers stretch limited resources. Heating systems run non-stop. Even so, capacity has limits. Some shelters open only during extreme weather. Others rotate availability. snowstorms, slow transportation, making even reaching a shelter uncertain. Before we go any further, if this story matters to you, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps the YouTube algorithm share this reality with more people who need to see it. For those turned away, the night doesn't pause, the cold doesn't soften, and the city grows quieter. Shelters are more than buildings. They are moments of relief, a chance to warm hands, to rest, to feel safe if only briefly. But winter reveals a difficult truth. The need is greater than the space available. As temperatures drop further, choices become sharper. Stay in line and hope, or return to the streets before the cold deepens. And when shelter doors close and winter shows no mercy, survival becomes about more than warmth. It becomes about health, endurance, and the quiet risks carried through every frozen night. Chapter 4. Cold that lingers. Winter health risks hidden in plain sight. As winter stretches on in Detroit, the cold begins to leave marks that aren't always visible. Freezing air settles deep into the body. Hands stiffen, breath becomes shallow, and minor aches turn into serious concerns. For people without stable shelter, winter health risks multiply quickly. Extended exposure to cold weakens the immune system. Respiratory conditions worsen. Simple injuries heal slowly, if at all. Snow and ice limit movement. Reaching clinics becomes harder. Public transportation slows. Appointments are missed. Cold nights don't allow proper rest. Sleep comes in short stretches. The body never fully recovers. Emergency rooms often become the last option, not because they are accessible, but because there is nowhere else to go. Winter doesn't just affect the body, it weighs on the mind. Isolation grows stronger as people withdraw from frozen streets. Darkness arrives early. Stress builds quietly. Mental health challenges intensify during long winters. Uncertainty, fear, and exhaustion overlap. And without consistent support, small struggles become heavy burdens. This chapter is not about extremes. It's about accumulation. Cold layered on cold. Night after night. Storm after storm. Winter health crises don't always happen suddenly. They develop quietly, out of sight, until help is urgently needed. And as the season continues, survival becomes more than finding shelter. It becomes about enduring what winter leaves behind. But as health risks rise and exhaustion sets in, another challenge begins to shape winter survival. One that isn't physical, but emotional, and it deepens as the nights grow longer. Chapter 5. The numbers behind the cold, housing gaps, rising rents, and winter reality. As winter continues in Detroit, the crisis becomes clearer when we look beyond the streets and into the numbers. Thousands of people across the city are experiencing homelessness during winter months. Some sleep in shelters, some in cars. Others move between temporary places, never staying long enough to feel stable. At the same time, affordable housing remains limited. Many apartments require steady income, security deposits, and first month's rent up front. For people living paycheck to paycheck, or without consistent work, these costs become impossible barriers. Room rentals are scarce, wait lists are long, and winter makes everything harder. Heating costs rise, utility bills increase, landlords raise rents to cover expenses. But wages don't rise with the cold. For some, one unexpected expense, a medical bill, a missed paycheck, or a winter emergency, is enough to push them out of housing. This is how winter homelessness often begins. Not suddenly, but gradually. People double up with friends, sleep on couches, stay as long as they can, until there is no space left. Winter exposes these gaps clearly because when temperatures drop, there is no room for instability. Homelessness isn't always about the absence of work. It's often about the absence of affordable options. And during winter, those gaps widen. What we see on frozen streets is only the final stage of a much longer struggle. But numbers don't tell the whole story. As winter stretches on, it's the emotional weight, the isolation, the exhaustion that begins to define survival in the cold. And that's where the next chapter takes us. Chapter 6. When the cold gets inside, loneliness, mental health, and winter survival. As winter stretches deeper into Detroit, the cold begins to move beyond the body and into the mind. Winter nights are long here, sometimes 14 hours of darkness, and for people without stable housing, those hours feel even longer. Isolation increases sharply in winter. People stay indoors. Public spaces close early. Libraries, transit stations, and warming areas become harder to access. For many unhoused individuals, these spaces are the last places of connection. When they close, loneliness grows. Mental health professionals often note that winter increases anxiety, depression, and emotional exhaustion, especially when basic needs are uncertain. Sleep is broken. Always alert, always listening. The body rests, but the mind doesn't. Cold weather also changes behavior. People move less to conserve energy. They speak less to avoid exposure. They withdraw, not by choice, but by necessity. Over time, this creates emotional numbness. Days blend together. Motivation fades. Hope becomes harder to hold on to. Winter doesn't create these struggles. It magnifies them. Without consistent shelter, accessing mental health support is difficult. Appointments are missed. Transportation fails. Storms cancel plans. What remains is endurance. This chapter is about a quiet truth. Survival in winter is as much mental as it is physical, and for many, making it through the night means fighting battles no one else can see. But even in isolation, winter doesn't erase connection completely. As the cold deepens, outreach workers and volunteers step into the snow, trying to reach people others never see. And that's where the next chapter begins. Chapter 7. Walking into the Cold. Outreach teams, volunteers, and winter lifelines. As winter deepens in Detroit, help doesn't always come from buildings. Sometimes it comes from people willing to step into the snow. Outreach teams move through the city during the coldest months. On foot, in vans, late at night. They search under bridges, inside abandoned structures, along frozen sidewalks, places most people never look. Their goal is simple: check on people, offer supplies, provide information, blankets, hand warmers, hot drinks, and directions to warming centers. In winter, these small items matter. They can prevent frostbite, they can reduce risk, they can save lives. Outreach workers also build trust. Not everyone accepts help right away. Some have been turned away before. Some fear losing independence. Some are simply exhausted. Winter makes this work harder. Snow slows movement. Storms limit access. Cold shortens the time workers can safely stay outside. Volunteers step in where they can. Church groups, community organizations, neighbors helping neighbors. But resources are limited, and winter demand is high. Outreach isn't a solution. It's a bridge between isolation and support. between exposure and warmth, between being unseen and being acknowledged. This chapter reminds us that even in harsh winter conditions, human connection persists. Sometimes it's the only thing pushing back against the cold. But as winter drags on and resources stretch thin, even outreach has its limits. And soon the pressure shifts from the streets to a system struggling to keep up. Chapter 8. Holding on through the cold. Resilience in small winter moments. As winter continues in Detroit, strength shows up in quiet ways. Not in big moments, but in small ones. A shared cup of hot coffee on a freezing morning. A donated coat that finally blocks the wind. A few hours of warmth inside a crowded shelter. In winter, these moments matter. People develop routines to survive the cold. Waking before sunrise. Moving to stay warm. Finding places where the wind is weaker. Resilience isn't loud, it's patient, it's repetitive. Many people form small communities, looking out for one another, sharing information about warming centers, warning each other about incoming storms. Winter pushes people together, not out of comfort, but out of necessity. Hope during winter is practical. It's about making it through today, not about distant plans. Every morning survived is a quiet victory. This chapter reminds us that homelessness doesn't erase strength. Winter doesn't erase dignity. Even in the coldest conditions, people adapt. People persist. These moments don't fix the crisis, but they explain something important: why people keep going. And as winter slowly begins to loosen its grip, a larger question starts to form, because resilience alone isn't enough. As the snow begins to melt, attention turns toward long-term answers and whether the system is ready when the next winter arrives. Chapter 9. After the snow falls, why winter keeps exposing the same housing gaps. As winter slowly begins to ease in Detroit, the cold doesn't disappear from the story. Snow melts, streets clear. But the pressures that winter revealed remain. Each winter, the same pattern returns. Emergency shelters fill, outreach expands temporarily, and resources stretch thin. When spring arrives, many emergency programs scale back. Warming centers close. Temporary funding ends. But homelessness doesn't end with winter. The underlying issues stay in place. A shortage of affordable housing, rising rents, limited supportive services. For many, housing options remain out of reach. Low-income apartments have long wait lists. Room rentals require deposits and proof of income. Housing vouchers are limited. Winter exposes these gaps because cold removes the margin for instability. Policy efforts exist. Programs are in place. But demand continues to exceed supply. Short-term winter responses save lives, but they don't prevent the next crisis. This chapter isn't about blame. It's about cycles. Without long-term housing solutions, each winter resets the emergency. Detroit's winters remind us that homelessness is not seasonal. Only our attention is. As temperatures rise, the question becomes unavoidable. What changes before the next winter arrives? Because understanding the problem isn't the final step. As this journey comes to a close, we turn toward what awareness can lead to: compassion, responsibility, and what happens next. Chapter 10. When winter ends, awareness, compassion, and what we choose to see. As winter finally begins to loosen its grip on Detroit, the snow starts to melt, streets reopen, people return to routine, and life appears to move forward. But for thousands of people, the struggle doesn't end with the cold. Winter may fade, but its impact remains. The nights survived, the risks taken, the exhaustion carried forward. This documentary wasn't about shock. It wasn't about numbers alone. It was about understanding what winter reveals when shelter is uncertain. Homelessness in America often stays invisible until winter forces it into view. And awareness is where change begins, not just through policy, not just through funding, but through recognizing humanity. In places we're used to passing by, compassion doesn't require grand gestures. It begins with attention, with listening, with caring enough to see. As viewers, we have choices: to look away when the season changes, or to remember what winter showed us, because the next winter will come. And when it does, the question won't be about the weather. It will be about what we're willing to do differently. Winter will return to Detroit. The cold will test the city again. And when it does, will we still be paying attention? Thank you for watching. If this story moved you or made you think, please take a moment to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others. Your support helps the YouTube algorithm reach more people with stories that matter. Feel free to leave a comment below, your thoughts, your perspective, or simply that you were here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next story.